Well, that wasn't a lot of fun. It was Florida State-Miami, big game.
Yeah.
A lot of excitement coming into this game, top 20 showdown.
Yeah.
The Noles didn't really show up the way you expected. They really didn't play well on either side of the ball except defending the run. The one area I think everybody was concerned about, Florida State, could they stop or slow Miami's running game?
What did that matter?
And they did a great job with that. Didn't really matter. Miami hits a bunch of big passes, 2 in the first half, a couple more in the second half. Carson Beck was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And Miami's wide receivers are really fast, and Florida State loses 28-22 in a game that, on paper, if you didn't watch the game, you may say, oh, that's not that bad. Number 3 team in the country at home. It was 28-3 in the fourth quarter, and Florida State mounts their rally, scores 19 points late, but when the game really mattered, Miami was way better than Florida State.
If we got one more question, Norvell, legitimately I was going to ask him this. You know how basketball coaches will talk about empty points, where a kid will hit like 6 shots in a row or they're down 20 and it doesn't matter? Was what happened in the fourth quarter empty points? Or can you really build off a game where you're losing 28-3 and you scored 19 straight? 19 unanswered, by the way. Canes didn't have any answer for it. They just ran out of time.
But Miami did not have 25 or 28 unanswered.
Right, that's true. Well, they did have 28. No, you're right, because Florida State answered Miami's 28 unanswered.
After they scored 28 straight.
So that's what I wonder. Like, it was so deflating. Just the whole first 3 quarters was deflating, man. I thought Tommy looked nervous and rattled and a little unsure of himself. I thought the offense as a whole did dumb things and made a bunch of mistakes, and the defense didn't get off the field when they needed to. But then they did rally up in the fourth quarter. I mean, you can maybe build off that, or it means nothing at all. You know, really, like it could be the empty points where you hit a bunch of shots when the game was already over.
We look good, though. We got our Vitamin Energy.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Warchant
both
polos.
wearing mediums.
This is the Vitamin Energy Warchant WRAP, which you guys already know. And Vitamin Energy, vitaminenergy.com is the website where you can get your Vitamin Energy supply, and it's Warchant BOGO is the promo code. And listen, man, we all need – can you mix them with alcohol?
Yes.
Can you
mix anything with alcohol.
Can you mix them with, like,
soap?
Coke?
Fentanyl? Anything. Yeah, well, let's not go crazy, Ira. Let's not go crazy. It's still a good season.
It was
still got a 3-2 record.
It was a rough night for the Noles. No, listen, I think the frustrating thing about this game is I don't think Miami is that much better than Florida State, but to your point, the Noles just didn't play well early.
Yeah.
I mean, defensively, again, they came to stop the run, and that was great, but they just got abused in the passing game. And that was really, coming into the season, the one area I felt best about this defense was the secondary. And then last week against Virginia, they couldn't stop the run at all. So they came in and clearly emphasized that, devoted a lot of effort to it. And the pass defense was just terrible. I mean, they weren't even in the picture in a couple of those long passes.
But a lot of them, too, a couple of their big plays. I mean, look, man, the Tony kid is legit.
He's pretty fast.
He's good.
Yeah, I think the recruiting sites, the recruiting evaluators may want to look back at where they had him ranked coming out of high school.
Where was he ranked?
He was a 4-star prospect. But
he should have been a 9-star.
He was.
That kid's incredible.
He wasn't even like a national recruit.
Yeah, he's very, very good. That was very impressive. So, look, what they did was they hit some short passes where he makes one move and he's gone. It wasn't like they were running 20-yard dig routes.
Of them.
They hit the big one over the 47-yarder early on. That's a really good throw. Jerry Wilson just got ran by. Yeah. In the first touchdown he gave up, I think it might have been the only touchdown he gave up, but he's wide open because he guesses wrong on the when Beck pulls the ball. But
then the flea flicker.
Yeah, also. That too. That's a great throw. It's a good play. Norvell said they thought it was coming. Clearly, maybe not at that moment. It was also on the heels of a fourth down decision that a lot of people were not happy about, especially after the fact. And I will say this: I don't necessarily hate the decision. I'm not in love with it.
4th and 8 around Miami's 30-something yard line.
I think it was the 41.
41-yard line.
So it's a 59-yard field goal. You're not going to do that, and you're only kicking a 59-yard field goal at the end of a half. And if you punt it, the last time your punter had a chance to pin a team deep, he hit it 6 yards into the end zone. Right. So I think if Mastromato was still the punter, I think maybe he punts it there because you're like, they're going to have the ball at the 4. And we're going to get the ball back soon. But there's a chance they get the ball back at the 20. I think they like their 4th down play call. I think Sawchuk's open immediately underneath for a first down. I also think if he throws it quicker and better, Pittman's open. Right. And I will say, this is what I was going to say, Tommy after the game, look, man, he was not good in the first 3 quarters. Not good at all. He just wasn't. He didn't make good decisions in the passing game or in the running game. He missed throws. He just looked a little bit rattled. He owned it. Now, does that matter to you? I don't know. It kind of tells you who you are as a person. Does it matter to you that Tommy takes accountability and ownership? Because he did. He said after Norvell was done talking after the game, he told the entire team that loss was on him. And then he apologized to the fans, to the community, to the alumni. Like, he apologized. That might mean something. Again, it might not mean anything, man. Who knows if he's running for his life and makes a few more bad plays against Pitt next week. By the way, good Pitt team, looks like. That's not going to be a cakewalk. But I like the way he responded in the fourth quarter. I do think he is a leader, and I think maybe you can build upon those plays in the fourth quarter. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think it's like in, if you're playing pickup basketball and there's the my bad guy who puts
every time he gets beat for a layup, that's my bad. No,
my bad.
Duh.
So Tommy should have some equity in that standpoint.
Yes.
He does have the win over Alabama. If he doesn't, if people are not believing in him and they're not giving him that grace, it's because they saw Tommy Castellanos' numbers before he got to Florida State.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of turnovers in his career, and he had some turnovers last week, and now he had turnovers tonight.
And they're killing themselves with the turnovers.
Yeah.
That's 6 in 2 weeks. It's 3 in back-to-back games. You can't beat a good team, although I guess if you recover an onside kick, you got a chance. You can't beat a good team when you lose the turnover battle 3-0.
Yeah, and get 14 points off those turnovers. And, so you're not as good as Miami. We all knew that. Everybody that came into the stadium, great crowd, by the way.
Really good crowd. It's a bummer it played out like it did.
Students were here early. I mean, everything about it was awesome. But everybody here knew Miami's a better team. They're a more talented team. They have better lines of scrimmage and better playmakers. And even with that, you still walk away from this game being frustrated because it wasn't a matter of they were just so much better than you. You didn't play well.
Yeah.
And 100% on Tommy in the first half. And again, Tommy Castellanos is a big part of the reason they were able to beat Alabama. He's a good player. He's a good fit for this offense. But, man, he not only did they turn the ball over, he just didn't see some throws and he didn't hit some throws. Yeah. There were plays there to be made. Like, you can walk out of this game or certainly at halftime being like, Gus Malzahn, what's going on with the offense, buddy? 3 points.
Yeah.
But there were plays to be made. They just didn't make them, and that starts with Tommy.
It does, and then even in the second half, he throws it's a horrible interception. That was worse than the fourth down interception, in my opinion, because that's a first down play. There's no world in which he's going to get that ball to where he needs to get it for Squirrel to catch that pass. But earlier on that drive, he misses Squirrel, which is going to be a 75-yard touchdown because the safety had taken a bad angle. I don't know if you could tell on TV. It's kind of an in route. Squirrel's open. He just throws it too hard and in front of him. If he puts it on his numbers or just leads him a little bit, nobody's catching Squirrel. And all of a sudden, even as bad as you feel because it's 21-3, it's 21-10, and you just hit a 75-yard play.
Where you got to give Miami some credit is I do feel like, man, he started to feel the pressure a little bit.
Yeah,
and
he
I
did.
think he's rushing that throw a little bit and putting a little too much on it because he's not feeling comfortable.
And that happens. He was throwing off his back foot quite a bit.
And that's what happens, and that's what you don't have as a pass rush because Carson Beck, those 4 touchdown passes, he's not feeling pressured.
No, but overall, if you'd have told me they're going to hold Miami to 28 points, I'm like, I think they're probably going to win the game. But you got to score more than 22, Ira, if you want to beat 28, right?
And
you know
3
what I'm saying?
In the first 3 quarters.
That hurt. 3 points in the first 3 quarters when you're leading the country in scoring is a bad look. And I will say this: one thing that worries me, and I wrote about it in the column that you'll be able to read on Warchant.
In hindsight, that East Texas A&M game was
didn't tell us a lot, did it? It really didn't tell us a lot. That was
now
weird.
That I look back.
Yeah, it's crazy. But in 2022, you win those first 4 games, right? You feel great. You're ranked. Right. You bring Wake Forest here. Maybe it's the first 5 games. I don't know. Wake Forest come, a big win, big game Saturday. Place is full and rocking. You lay an egg. You don't handle the moment well. That starts a 3-game losing streak. Even in 2023, the best game you played was the first game you played. After that, the offense kind of started dipping and dipping and dipping. You play a big game against Miami here where you're clearly the better team, you barely win it. You play Duke, you're clearly the better team. They had a backup quarterback. You barely win it. You have to take the lead in the fourth quarter. It's like his teams, for whatever reason, seem to get worse as the season goes on.
They definitely don't get better.
I don't know why that is.
You could say the 2022 team, after that streak in the middle, they did come back and get better.
But it was also they were playing
the
worse teams and they didn't have their – and I'm not trying to dismiss a 19-game winning streak, but it seems like they start off seasons really well, and then for whatever reason, the nerves, the expectations, the weight of what they're playing for, they don't handle it well. Right. And I don't know that you can blame a head coach for that. But it is his program, and it keeps happening to his program. This team tonight for the first 3 quarters looked more like 2024 than anything we saw against Alabama. Right. And that was just a month ago. What happened?
Well, if it looked like 2024, it would have been about 49 to 3.
Well, it was 28-3.
No, I got you.
You know what I mean?
It
was worse.
It
was worse than it was
defense.
against Cam Ward last year. Yeah, they were.
No, I got you. Listen, there is a positive to take away, and I'm not sitting here trying to, silver lining. And Mike Norvell, to his credit, after the game said, I'm not about silver linings. But when it was 28-3, I was spending a lot of time watching the sideline. And they did have a lot of guys, Elijah Herring, Terrence Knighton actually pulled the defensive line together, man, and he was screaming at them, basically like, do not quit. You have to keep fighting. Yeah. Elijah Herring is going to every position group saying the same thing. So they did compete. Again, that's a low bar, and we're not looking for that. We're not looking for moral victories. But they did compete. They gave the offense. They gave the offense a chance to find itself, and then they did. And yeah, you could say that a lot of those yards were empty and those points were empty late.
They had a 19-play, 96-yard drive.
I think Miami was playing a little softer.
A 19-play touchdown
than they were
drive.
Earlier in the game. So I'm not going to take a lot away from those drives because Miami clearly wasn't playing the same way defensively.
Right.
But I do think the defense competed. Miami didn't shut it down.
Right.
I mean, Carson Beck was throwing passes
with 2 minutes left,
which was crazy.
You weirdo, Mario, you deserve to have that come back and
down
bite
the road.
you.
You're going to play somebody else who could do something about it. But that is something, and the only reason I think it's important is because not for tonight, but I do think it's important for, man, it got a little windy up in here.
Yeah, it did.
It's important for what the rest of the season could be. You are 3-2, and we talked about this during the week. Is this a do or die game in the sense of, are you going to get in the playoff? Probably not. I don't know that door is shut.
If you go 10-2,
I'm not saying the door is shut.
Yeah. Hey man, Virginia won Louisville.
I got you, man. I got you. I'm not saying,
but no, the door's shut. That's not, the door's mostly shut.
The point isn't even about that. The point is will they keep competing? Will they keep playing?
Yeah.
Will they come back next week against an improved Pitt team, like you said, and show up and want to be here at noon and play, or does it start to look to 2024?
That's the issue, right? That's what I wrote about in the column. Again, I hope you guys have stopped the video and read it and then come back and listen to this. You can hear the point twice. But, like, this guy has gone on winning streaks before, right? Had a pretty big one, a 19-game winning streak. He's also had teams and seasons that just tanked. I kind of feel like we're a little bit on the precipice, man. Like, there are some games they're going to win just because they're much better than the other teams. But
I like your precipice dance, by the way.
Yeah, you like the little doolly-doo? Like, you can lose to Pitt.
Would you do that if we were, like, on the edge of a building? Would you do, like,
if an earthquake's happening? No, I would just jump back. I'm not dancing. You can lose to Pitt. You can lose at NC State. You can lose at Clemson. You clearly can lose at Florida. There are a lot of losable games out there, and if you cash in and don't play well, this season can get away from you real quick. Or you can go on a run. Right. And I literally don't know what's going to happen. I mean, that was so bad for 3 quarters. I'm like, this season's about to go off the rails again. Maybe 19-0 in the fourth quarter gets you back where you need to be, and you can take care of Pitt and get some good vibes around here again, man. Kent State was a long time ago, my man. Kent State seems like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, we're going to see. That is the drama now. We'll have to see what the next few weeks look like, because that's going to determine whether or not they're playing for anything in November and going into December. And again, they've got 2 losses now in the conference. That door is probably shut. But if your 2 losses are to a Miami team that could be number 1 in the country or number 2 in the country after this week,
I would literally vote Miami number 1. Who has a better resume than those guys right now? Nobody. They should be number 1 in the country.
And if you've got that win over Alabama and then you start stacking some other wins, again, the season's not over. The question is whether or not they can stick together. We'll have to see. But you know what we do know? Vitamin Energy, guys, is the real deal.
Yeah. Come on, Aslan. Come on.
Come on. You know, if you should have been on the hands team for the kickoff onside kick.
It doesn't matter because their kickers won't kick it 10 yards.
The problem, if you're –
and they're sidewindy. Like look, 0 for 3 is tough. 0 for 3. I think they should have tried another. They had tried 2 kickers. They should have tried another kicker. They should have let Deuce try to kick it, or Tommy, anyone.
Anyway, go to vitaminenergy.com. The promo code is WarchantBOGO. Get your Vitamin Energy. Guys, how many times do we have to tell you? Go get them this week.
Not enough.
They've got a bunch of different flavors, bunch of different styles. You've got the mood. You've got different times a day.
Right. Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Check it out.
What a salesman you are.
I'm doing the best I can.
Shirt.
I've got the shirt.
You look great in the shirt.
Aslan, is that good enough? Are we good? Are we done here?
Our ride's here. Our ride's here.
For Corey and Aslan, this is Irish OFL signing out from Doak Campbell Stadium. Next week, Pitt.